Hello and welcome back. My name is Vanessa from Woman Bushcraft. The perfect campsite. A point that makes me angry so many times. Why? Because I don't have often the time to go out for a trip overnight. And when I am outside, I want that everything is perfect. Also the perfect place to stay overnight. But this isn't always so easy. Why? Because there are possible hazards, confounders and some selection criteria. What kind of criteria I advise and why, you will find out in this video. So if you want, stay tuned. When I go into a wood, I open my eyes and look at traces of the wild animals. Because when I go into the wood, I am an intruder. I am not at home there. And I don't want to disturb the wild animals. So I have to look where are their wild ways. Because the wild animals took often the same way through the next meadow or the next water place. So, and I don't want that they can't do this because I camp there. So they have. I want that they can have their normal life. There is also the danger that emanates from wild animals. So here in Germany we have many wild boars, and I am so afraid from them because they can kill humans. And when I go into a wood, I look to the traces of the wild boars, and if I see some typical traces of them, I open all my senses and go directly away from this, because I don't want that they see me or they think they must fight against me. I don't know in which country you live, but maybe you have there puma or wolf or bear, so you have to know what wild animals are in your area and open your eyes for the traces of these animals. And when you see some typical traces, go away and stay at another place overnight. I go never in the lower wood, into a wood, because in this area where the small trees are growing, there is the children room of the wild animals. So they left their babies there and they are protected there, because it is impossible to look inside of this lower wood. And when I go in, they have to run away, and this is not good, because they need their energy reserve. This is also an important point in the winter. When I go into the wood and the animals have to run away because I am there, their energy reserve will get very low, and they need them in the winter time because they don't find enough food in the winter time. So, and when I go then inside and they have to run, this is a very bad thing. When I think I have a great place to be there overnight, I check out the soil texture. Is there on the ground leaf or moss or gravel? This is important because at the most times you want to fix something like a tent or the top, and it should be comfortable for you to stay. Maybe the ground is very wet, and you also have to check out if you are in an more area, because when you make there an open fire, it can be very dangerous because the underground is burning very fast and very deep and wide, so I don't want to make a fire there. I don't know if more is the right word, maybe you know it under the name bog. Do you have ever built a camp in the middle of an ants road? Yes? It happened to me once, and this hurts a lot because I don't see those ants at the beginning, and then they were everywhere and I don't see them before. So check out if there is an ants road, and you also have to check if there are some forest bumblebee holes in this area where you want to stay. Not everyone like that we stay overnight in the woods, and yeah, some hunter doesn't like that we are there, so I look always that I am so far away as it possible from the hunter cabins. We have often such power line roads. They don't stop because there is a wood. No, they go directly through the forest. And yeah, maybe it looks nice to camp under this power line road because there are no trees, but I think this isn't a good idea because here they are very frequented. People walk there often. It is interesting for the hunters because the animals go often there to eat the grass at the meadows that there are, and so they can make a good shoot because the hunters see everything without the trees. And the other point is that when I camp there under those power line and make a fire, maybe someone think that there is an power line accident. When they see the fire, they can't know that I camped there and have a campfire. So maybe they called the fire workers because they think there is an accident. For me, it is important that I have always a retraction way, also in the night, that I have always the possibility to go home also in the night when it is dark and I have only a flashlight. When I am in the mountains, I have often an echo where the normal voice sounds louder because there are some rocks or caves. So I don't know that some noises from me are louder in the area. So if I find out that there is an echo from my voices, I don't stay there. This point is very important in the winter times. When you are in the mountains, check out the area if there are avalanches possible. I don't stay under open fields in the winter time because there are avalanches possible. So when you are in the mountains, please stay safe. A glade in the woods is very nice to camp because you have there a meadow and very much sun. But I think it isn't a good idea to stay there because when you are there, you can't see what is around you in the woods. Maybe someone is there and spy all the time what you are doing there, and you can't even see him. Yeah, and also on point that the wild animals came there to eat, and yeah, you don't like that they are there because maybe you can't sleep, and they also don't like that you are there because they want to eat there. An increased storage place is nice, but you are there not hidden. Everyone can see you. And you should take attention, because you are maybe the highest point there, and a lightning can hit you. If there are no trees around you, only you, and when you are at the highest point, the lightning goes always to the highest point in the area, and maybe it is you. It can be very comfortable to camp close to a creek or a river, because you have enough water to drink and to cook, and in the summertime you can take a bath in, but it can be also dangerous to stay there. If you stay at a river, you had always to check the water level, especially when there is a jam factory, because the water level can be very high very fast. So it is better if you stay a little bit away from the river or a little bit higher. And it is also very dangerous when you stay in the mountains or in the valleys close to a creek, because when higher in the mountain it is raining, you don't even know it, but the water in the creek become so fast, and so it is like an torrential, and it came very fast down, and yeah, this is so dangerous because the water brings trees with it and stones, rocks, and yeah, this is very very dangerous when you're out there when it is raining someone over your camp. So it is better when you stay a little bit away from the river or a little bit higher. It is also very dangerous when you camp in the mountains or in the valleys near to a creek, because there can come down on torrential. When it is raining higher in the mountain, you don't know it, and then the water came down very fast and with so much power. You have to see that you know how fast and how massive the water comes down, and this is so dangerous because you have only a minute to leave. You don't hear this before, and then it is there. Here in Germany we are not allowed to camp or be overnight in a nature reserve, so you can walk in but don't stay in it. And yeah, it is always not a good idea to stay in a private wood, because the owners maybe doesn't like that you are there. We have here also a lot of economic wood where often woodworkers are, and yeah, they work with the motor saws and fell the trees. And the one point is that there are many streets and paths through the wood, and also many people, the workers and the people, they just walk through the forest. And it is also very loud because of the motor saw and the vehicles, so I don't like to go in those economic woods. In the area at my home there are many lowers and elevation, and I had always to choose one. Both are not perfect. In the lower I am protect against the wind, but also the cold air goes down here. So, and when I am at the elevation on the higher point, I have there many sun, but I am not protected against the view from other people. So yeah, both are not perfect, and I always had to choose one what is better than the other point. But we also have here some small lower in the ground, and those small lowers are perfect because I can put my bivouac back inside, and when I make there inside a fire, the cold air will get away, and the shine of the fire is inside of the lower, and normally nobody around can see it because it is a little bit deeper. I see it very often that when the people are searching for the right camp place, that they take only a look down to the ground, but it is more important that they take a look around and in the air, because there are so often dead trees that can fall down in a storm and kill you, or maybe some rocks that came down. So please not only look at the ground, look also in the air and in the area around you. So I can tell longer and longer, but I think I have to say the important things what you have to check when you are searching for the perfect camp place. So when you know something else what is important, feel free to write it here down in the comment. Thank you for watching, and I hope we see us again at the next video. Have a great time. Bye bye.